Reece Drinnen was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1942. He was assigned to the 1052nd Signal Corps and participated in the Northern France campaign.
All right, tell me your name.
Reece Drinnen,
And where are you from?
Maryville.
So you grew up here in Maryville,
No, I grew up in Tennessee, Sevierville.
Sevierville.
Yeah,
And
Sevier County.
okay. And you went through school. Where did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
Oh, at Wallen's Creek School.
Okay. And how did you get into the military?
Well, I was drafted.
You were drafted. And how did that come about? How did you get your draft notice?
Well, I got it. How? I just got it by mail. Is all I could tell you. I don't know.
Okay. So you opened the mail, and where did it tell you to report to? Where did you have to report?
Oglethorpe, Georgia.
Okay. And how did you get down to Fort Oglethorpe?
On train.
You went by train.
Yeah.
Do you
Then that's all train. Nearly.
Do you remember your train ride?
No.
No. But it was all servicemen.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then you arrived at Fort Oglethorpe.
I went from Oglethorpe to, well, right there I made a bad mistake at Oglethorpe. You took two tests. One of them was physical and the other was IQ. Well, I passed my physical all right. But when I got my IQ, I chose to miss every one of them. And I did.
Okay.
And so that was the wrong thing to do. That was qualifying you in your job in the Army. Well, he seen what I done, and he come back, and he let me take it over. So I made 100% then.
Okay.
That meant a lot. It built you up a lot there.
Mm-hmm. So with that score of 100%, what was your next step in the military?
Well, you qualified there, so I made. I got you Signal 1052nd Signal Corps. I got in hit. That meant a lot.
Well, good.
And I made. They had a warehouse in it, and it's got a secretary in hit. Me and another guy. His name was Johnny Costello. And from that then, we made it extra good in the warehouse then.
Okay. And so after Fort Oglethorpe, where did you go from there?
From Oglethorpe, west of Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
That's where we took our basic.
Okay. And do you remember doing basic?
Oh, I remember doing a lot of it.
Yeah. And
It was just more or less drilling.
Mm-hmm. And had the war already started? What year are we talking right now?
Well, it wasn't. The wars had started by that time, but Germany, you see, took France, Belgium,
mm-hmm.
and they had really Russia. And if we hadn't helped them, we furnished them stuff. They had Russia.
Okay.
And we moved into England, but they got a lot to go there before we got to England.
Right. So after Fort Bragg, where did you go from there?
Well, we went to Savannah, Georgia.
Okay. And what was in Savannah?
Well, out there we got organized there.
With the Signal Corps?
Yeah, that's where we joined the Signal Corps, and we're servicing the Air Force.
Okay. And you knew you were heading over to Europe. You knew at that point you were going to be going to Europe, right?
No, we wouldn't have to go.
Okay.
The GIs really volunteered and went to we wouldn't have had to go.
Okay.
But we was in a group there to train other guys.
Got it.
And so we got more officers, and we had enlisted men always just doing that. And so we didn't like that a bit. And so we volunteered and went over.
Okay. And how did you get over
We were on Queen Mary.
on the Queen Mary? Do you remember that ship?
Oh, I remember well. It was next to the largest ship there was.
And what was the ship like? What was it like on the ship?
Oh, it was just a nice ship to be. It just more or less you thought you're back in the land
Mm-hmm.
with the Gothams out there leaping one squad here and it was just calm as it could be. We broke the record of going over.
Wow.
We went over there in 7 days.
Wow. And what was the food like on the ship?
Oh, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad on the ship.
And so 7 days passed. Where did the ship end up at?
Well,
You said it took 7 days to get over. Where did your signal corps land at?
I can't call
Was it
that.
was it France?
Or
Was it France?
yeah, no England.
Okay.
Yeah, we landed in England.
Oh, in England.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do in England?
Well, that's where we set up a warehouse and the servants and the Air Force.
Okay. And what was life like working in England?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't get along with the England people some way.
So, once you were in England with your signal corps, what was the job that you were to do?
Well, I was a secretary, and Johnny Costello was a sergeant, and so we just we didn't have a certain job to do. We just worked together. The best, we didn't have one bit of trouble all 3 years.
Wow. And where was he from, your friend?
Yeah, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
So y'all were pretty good friends?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now tell me, was there a story about a bicycle?
Oh, that bicycle ride, when I was out at the pub, and I got lost from the other guys, and so I just went from one house to another asking how to get back to the airfield. And I rode all night long, and a lot of times I was in the ditch and everywhere else. So I found the ex-player guys, they'd tell me, you can't miss it. So I just kept like that all night till the next morning I found the place myself.
And did you get in trouble?
No.
No one knew?
No, they didn't even know it. Never did find out.
And I bet, did you ever do that again?
No.
No. What was your nickname?
Possum.
Possum. And how did you get the nickname Possum?
I got a whole bunch of Northerns there, and I was telling how the hillbilly Tennessees live. One thing and another, and they had that possum in there. Oh, we out there had a little every once in a while. And so I told them where we catch possum, we'd skin it, sell the hide, eat the meat, and this, that, and the other. And so from that on, they all went to call me Possum.
And when you were in England, did you ever get to correspond with your family back here?
Yeah, you could do that all the time. You couldn't do that. You'd be on a move or something like that. That'd be the only time you couldn't do that.
Okay. And anything else you want to tell us about the war being in England? Anything else happened to you?
Well, yeah, that area, about that flying bum, that nearest I come with getting killed. I seen the flying bum coming way yonder, and I was on the runway, and I just did get off from the runway, 2.5 ton truck, and that thing went right down the runway.
Wow. And
I just barely did get off.
wow.
And I don't know what it's made of. It was when it hit, there wasn't nothing but a few batteries and a little bit of water. I couldn't figure out what the outside of it was built of.
And what? How was the food in England when you were there?
Well, it was our food and everything. It's pretty good.
Well, good. And did any other?
Oh, but see, I'll tell you about that. Me making a cook.
Okay.
And I went and worked for 1 week, and I was cooking a bushel of beans, and they was rotten as they could be. I went and told the cook about it, and everything. Oh, fix it. We got to have something to eat. And I said, if I fix them, I'm going to serve them on the line. And I'll tell everybody, man, that what they are. And I half of them eat them. Me tell them how rotten they was.
Oh wow.
I quit.
Mm-hmm.
That was my last cooker. If I had to eat stuff like that, I didn't want to know it.
So, did you stay in the same location throughout the war in England, or did you travel from place to place?
No, we'd stay at one certain place
Okay.
in England.
And did you have a situation with a colonel?
But that was right on the last of the war.
Okay, and what happened with that?
Well, he called me up there and wanted a radar antenna. I told him, well, yes, I had 3. And he said, well, about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll be over there and get one. And I said, do you have a old and turn in? He said, no. But he said, I've got to have one. I said, I'm the only one here, and you ain't going to get it from me. And he said he had to have it. He said, do you know who you're talking to? I said, no, I don't care who you're talking to, but you ain't going to get it. He said, this is Colonel Brown. I said, Colonel Brown or no Colonel Brown? I said, you still ain't going to get it. And he said, who's your CO? Oh, he stomped the floor. You could hear him on the telephone. And he said, who's your CO? I told him. I said, well, do you know his number, telephone? He said, no. I said, if you got it, I'll give it to you. And so I gave him the telephone. It wasn't long till they come in, and I denied him as a CO. He come in and asked me. And I told him no. I said, I told him I wouldn't give it to him, and I ain't going to touch it. And I said, if you want to, I'll go back there and show you where it is, and you can give it to him. And he asked me back there then to take it up there and write him a tally out. I said, no, I won't do it. I said, if you want to, I'll show you where the tally out. And I did. And so, boy, that CO, he tried to study everything. I mean, not CO, but my colonel. He just studied everything in the world to put me in the pen. But he couldn't get it to work because he is the one that it took him about 15 minutes to decide, and then he come up there and he finally patted me on the shoulder and told me as a real soldier that it wasn't one out of 100 would do that. Talk to a colonel and his CO that way.
Wow.
And but the CO, you see, where I had him, he is the one that told me nobody could take out an antenna without they had to hold it. He didn't know that I had a letter from him, and he had signed his name.
Wow.
Yeah, I had him. He couldn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm. How did you travel over in Europe?
Well, really, just travel is 2.5 ton truck.
Okay, and was that safe? Being on that truck, was it safe?
Yeah. It was. I done the biggest part of the driving. My sergeant there, he didn't like to do it, and I done the biggest part of the picking taking supplies, old ones and getting new ones, and things that way.
Okay. And would you drive at night or during the day? Or?
No, you could. I stayed at. I was gone for 2 days maybe, the warehouse, but they had in certain towns they had a place, a hotel there for GI stay all night.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd stay all night.
Wow. So when the war ended up, did you stay at? How long were you in Europe when the war was?
Before the invasion of France.
Okay.
I'd say it was about 6 months.
Mm-hmm. And then how did you get back to the United States?
It was a small battleship.
Okay.
And it was the awful storm that ever was. Now, that was a rough, it wasn't like going over. It was rough. There's guys been on that ship for 30 years, and they said they'd never seen any storm like it. It's hard telling how many ships we have passed, anchored, and couldn't go at all. They had to be towed back to land.
Wow. Did you get seasick?
Well, I'd like to. When they got up one morning to pull KP, and I passed them old freezers, they stink like everything. And and so I was getting sick, and I got to see the sergeant to put me on the next day.
Okay. And so you made it back to the United States, and where did the ship pull in at? Which port?
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
And what did you do then?
Well, I just went to a camp there, waiting for discharge.
Okay. And how did you feel? I mean, you've been over, being a part of the war, and
Well, I was just glad to get out.
okay.
Yeah, they offer you a lot of stuff when you go in there to get discharged. But I told them I'd come in there with nothing, and I was going out.
And after you got your honorable discharge, did you head back to Tennessee?
I did.
And did you take a train?
No, I come back on the bus from there.
On a bus?
Yeah.
And where did you wind up? Back to Sevier County or Blount County?
Well, I was going to Sevier County, and I didn't know that they had moved over here. But when I joined the Army there, I lived in the hills up there in Tennessee. There's all mountains. And I told them to sell out, and I'd help pay half for the farm. And when they bought the farm out here at 6 Mile.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wound up in Blount County.
Yeah, well, I went to Sevier County that night.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to stay with my uncle up there that night, then come back over here and hunt them up the next day.
So how did your family react when they first saw you back from the war?
Pretty dry.
Pretty dry?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It's just like us walking in there now. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I didn't have, everybody was like that. It did hurt
Mm-hmm.
and see, there wasn't no action at all. No war. That made.
Wow. How does it feel today to be a veteran?
Well, I went up here in Washington here a while back,
Honor Air?
and we got 10 times the action there. We did.
Well,
It was nice. I really enjoyed that there. We're going to Washington, seeing the monuments and everything.
On the Honor Air trip?
Yeah.
Did you like the welcome home?
Though I,
When they welcomed you home at the air?
they did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Well, good.
Sure did. I enjoyed it.
Do you have any other stories about being in the military?
Well, right now I can't think about it.
And swap jobs is the two swap jobs.
Did you ever swap jobs with anyone? Your buddy? Did you swap jobs?
Oh no,
I didn't think he liked to type, and
About
you didn't like to type.
you didn't like the type?
And he would type
oh, well, they just sort of like chicken picking going.
Mm-hmm.
or something. It was some story. That's all right.
Yeah, then Johnny couldn't type
Yeah.
or me either, but we made out.
Did you keep in touch with Johnny after
I
the
did
war?
till he died. Yeah,
Okay.
poor boy died with a cancer.
Okay. And you went to some reunions.
Oh yeah, we went down South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. We went there 3 times. And then from there, I set it up here, Pigeon Forge, for 3 years.
Okay.
And then from there, we went to what is that?
Branson.
Missouri? Branson, Missouri?
Well, Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
We went that twice. Then we went from there to Hot Springs, Arkansas then. And then from there, the CO was supposed to fix it up with another guy. If he didn't, he was going to call me. But I tore it up. He never did let me know.
Wow.
I had sure hate to see that.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you today?
Yeah, 97.
97 years old.
June 25th, I'll be 98.
Yep.
Wow.
And you know, we're proud of you for your service.
Well, I said, we done our duty.
Mm-hmm. And at a time when America needed you, you came through. So
Well, I enjoyed working for it, but I didn't enjoy the Social Security they give me. But I had to take it there. They taken that $21 and divided it with what I make out just plain.
mm-hmm.
And that's where I got all my Social Security.
Well,
They done me dirty.
do you remember how much you made in the Army? How much?
On the last no, well, it did raise.
Yeah.
But I draw 3 months of $21 a month.
$21 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be money. What would that be if you counted up a day?
I'm not sure. Is there anything else you want to add for this interview? Any more stories?
It's getting down there to, I can't think of it.
Okay. Well, we thank you for doing this interview today, and we're proud of your service, and we are glad that we can preserve you and your history for future generations.
Well, I was glad to do what I could.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.